Minus 40 degrees, 100 million Americans at risk. And it's happening in the next 48 hours. This isn't just another cold snap. Folks, this is a historic Arctic blast. And by the time you finish watching this, it could already be too late. Right now, a massive dome of Arctic air is barreling down from Canada like a freight train. We're talking temperatures that'll drop 40 to 50 degrees in just a matter of hours. From the northern plains all the way to New England, nobody's going to escape this one. Chicago, Minneapolis, Detroit, Boston, all of them are about to get absolutely hammered. And here's the kicker. Wind chills are going to plummet to 20, even 30 below zero. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've dealt with cold weather before. No big deal. But let me break it down for you at these temperatures. Your body doesn't stand a chance. Frostbite can set in on exposed skin in less than 10 minutes seriously. That's it. You step outside without gloves. Your fingers could be damaged before you even realize what's happening. And hypothermia. That's a whole other beast when you're dealing with wind chills. This brutal. Your core temperature starts dropping. You get confused. You can't think straight. Before you know it, you're in serious trouble and you don't even know you need help. So yeah, this isn't the time to play tough guy. This weather will literally kill you. Now, let's talk about what this means for your daily life, because it's going to get messy fast. Schools across the Midwest are already announcing closures. We're talking hundreds of districts. Parents are scrambling to figure out childcare. And honestly, that's the smart move here. You don't want kids waiting at bus stops when the air itself feels like a weapon. And if you're planning to fly anywhere this week, I've got bad news for you. Airlines are already canceling flights left and right. We're talking thousands of them. Airports in Chicago, Minneapolis, and Denver are going to be absolute chaos. Delayed passengers, stranded travelers, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a nightmare. But here's where it gets even worse. Your pipes are about to become your worst enemy. When temperatures drop this low, this fast, pipes freeze and then they burst. And I'm not talking about a little leak. I'm talking about flooding that can destroy your home. Plumbers are going to be booked solid for weeks, and repairs. We're talking thousands of dollars. So right now, like literally right now, you need to let your faucets drip. Open cabinet doors under sinks so warm air can circulate around those pipes. And if you've got a garage, keep that door closed to protect any plumbing in there. Trust me, a slightly higher water bill is nothing compared to the alternative. Now let's talk power outages, because they're coming and they're gonna stick around. When everyone cranks up their heat at the same time, the electrical grid gets absolutely slammed. Add in ice on power lines and tree branches snapping from the weight, and boom, lights out. Some areas could be without power for days, maybe even weeks in the worst hit spots. And losing power in these conditions isn't just inconvenient, it's downright dangerous. Without heat, your house becomes an icebox faster than you'd think possible. You've got maybe a few hours before indoor temperatures drop below freezing, so here's what you need to do. And I mean, you need to do this before the storm hits. Stock up on batteries, flashlights, and candles, but be careful with those candles. House fires spike during cold snaps because people get desperate and do stupid things. Never use your oven to heat your home, and don't run generators indoors. Carbon monoxide kills. If you've got a fireplace, awesome, stock up on firewood now before everyone else cleans out the stores. And speaking of stores, people are already panic buying like it's the apocalypse. Grocery store shelves are getting wiped clean: bread, milk, eggs, all the usual suspects. But honestly, you should be thinking beyond the basics right now. Grab canned goods, non-perishable foods, stuff that doesn't need to be refrigerated. Because if the power goes out, your fridge becomes useless and all that food's gonna spoil. Stock up on water too, yes. Even in winter, because frozen pipes mean no running water. You need at least a gallon per person per day, and plan for at least 3 days minimum. And don't forget about medications if you're running low. Refill those prescriptions, ASAP. You do not want to be stuck at home in a blizzard realizing you're out of heart medication. Now, if you've got elderly neighbors or family members, check on them like, seriously. Older folks are way more vulnerable to hypothermia, and they might not realize they need help. Make sure they've got heat, food, and medications, and that someone's keeping tabs on them. And here's something people don't think about: homeless populations are at extreme risk right now. Cities are opening emergency shelters. but there's never enough space for everyone who needs it. If you see someone outside in this weather, don't just walk past, call for help. Get them to a shelter. We're talking life or death here, and a few minutes of your time could literally save someone. All right, let's get into vehicles, because driving in this mess is going to be absolutely brutal. First off, if you don't absolutely have to drive, don't just stay home. But if you do have to get on the road, you better make sure your car is ready for it. Check your antifreeze levels if they're low. Your engine could freeze solid and you're toast. Make sure your battery's in good shape because cold weather kills batteries faster than anything. And your tires. You need good tread. And if you can swing it, winter tires are a game changer. Keep an emergency kit in your car blankets. Water, snacks, a flashlight, and a phone charger. If you get stranded on the side of the road, that kit could be the difference between life and death. And I'm not being dramatic. People die every year from getting stuck in their cars during cold snaps. They run the heater to stay warm, fall asleep, and then carbon monoxide poisoning takes them out. If you're stuck in your car, crack a window and only run the engine for short bursts. And for the love of everything, make sure your exhaust pipe isn't blocked by snow. Now, here's something most people overlook. Your phone is basically useless in extreme cold. Batteries drain super fast when it's this cold, and screens can freeze up or crack. Keep your phone close to your body to keep it warm, and bring a portable charger if you've got one. The last thing you want is to need to call 911 and realize your phone died an hour ago. All right, let's talk about what to wear, because your regular winter coat isn't going to cut it. You need layers, like serious layers, because that's what's going to keep you alive out there. Start with a moisture-wicking base layer to keep sweat off your skin, because wet skin freezes fast. Then add an insulating layer like fleece or wool, and top it off with a windproof outer shell. And don't forget your extremities, hands, feet, ears, and face are the first things to get frostbite. Wear insulated gloves, not those flimsy knit ones, and thick socks with waterproof boots. A good hat that covers your ears is non-negotiable, and honestly, a face mask or scarf is a must. Because breathing in air that cold can actually damage your lungs. It's not just uncomfortable. Now, if you've got pets, they're just as vulnerable to this cold as you are, maybe even more so. Bring them inside. Even if they're usually outdoor animals, no exceptions here. Dogs and cats can get frostbite on their paws, ears, and tails in minutes at these temperatures. And if you see a stray animal outside, try to bring it in, or at least get it to a shelter. We're all in this together, and that includes our furry friends who can't fend for themselves. All right, now let's talk about what happens after the cold snap passes, because it's not over then. When temperatures finally start to climb back up, that's when a whole new set of problems kicks in. All that ice and snow starts melting, and suddenly you're dealing with flooding. Frozen pipes that held together during the freeze can burst when they thaw out. Roofs overloaded with snow can collapse, especially older buildings that weren't built for this. So even when the worst of the cold is over, you still need to stay alert and ready. Keep monitoring local news and weather reports because conditions can change on a dime. And if authorities tell you to evacuate or seek shelter, don't try to tough it out, just go. Your pride isn't worth your life. And first responders are already going to be stretched thin. Look, I know this all sounds scary, and honestly, it should because this is serious stuff. But the good news is that if you prepare now, you can get through this safely. The people who get hurt are the ones who ignore the warnings and think they'll be fine. So don't be that person. Take this seriously and start getting ready right now. Make a plan. Check your supplies, and talk to your family about what you're going to do. Designate a warm room in your house where everyone can gather if the heat goes out. Close off other rooms to conserve warmth, and hang blankets over windows to keep the cold out. And if things get really bad and you lose power, don't be a hero. Go to a public shelter. Cities are setting up warming centers specifically for situations like this. There's no shame in asking for help, and these places exist to keep people alive. Now, here's something crucial. Stay informed, but don't let fear paralyze you. Sign up for emergency alerts on your phone so you get real-time updates from local authorities. Follow your local news stations on social media for the latest info on road conditions and closures. And check in with neighbors, especially those who live alone or might need extra help. Community matters in times like this, and looking out for each other can make all the difference. If you've got a neighbor who's elderly, disabled, or just struggling, offer to help them prep. Maybe grab some groceries for them, check that their heat's working, or just give them a call. Small acts of kindness can literally save lives when Mother Nature decides to throw a tantrum. And speaking of Mother Nature, let's talk about climate change for a second. Because yeah, we're going there. Now, I know some people roll their eyes when this gets mentioned, but hear me out. We're seeing more extreme weather events, not just cold snaps, but heat waves, hurricanes, floods. The weather's getting weirder and more unpredictable, and that's just the reality we're living in now. So whether you believe in climate change or not, being prepared for extreme weather is just smart. Have an emergency kit, have a plan, and be ready to adapt when things go sideways. Because this Arctic blast might be over in a week, but there's always going to be something next. All right, let's wrap this up with some final thoughts and a clear action plan for you. Step 1. Check your home heat. Pipes, food, water, emergency supplies. Step 2. Prep your vehicle if you have to drive antifreeze. Battery. Emergency kit. Step 3. Stock up on essentials before everyone else cleans out the stores. Step 4. Check on vulnerable people. Elderly neighbors, family members, pets. Step 5. Stay informed with local alerts and weather updates throughout the storm. Step 6. If things get bad, swallow your pride and get to a shelter or warming center. And most importantly, don't underestimate this storm, respect the power of nature. This isn't just some weather event you can ignore and hope it blows over. This is a potentially deadly situation that requires action, not denial. People are going to get hurt. People are going to die. That's just the harsh truth. But you don't have to be one of them if you take this seriously and prepare right now. So put down your phone after this video and start doing something about it. Check those pipes. Grab those supplies. Make that emergency plan with your family. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone who needs to see it seriously. Your share could literally save a life if it reaches the right person at the right time. So spread the word. Look out for each other. And let's all get through this thing together. Stay warm, stay safe, and remember, preparation beats panic every single time. This Arctic blast is coming, whether we like it or not. So let's face it head on and ready. All right, folks, that's all I've got for you now. Get out there and start preparing. And I'll catch you on the other side of this storm. Hopefully all in one piece. Take care, be smart, and don't take any chances with this cold. Stay safe out there. Everyone, we got this,